Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. My name is Malescu and I'm the owner of Malescu Law, a law firm based in Miami, Florida, specializing in business, corporate and US immigration. We can assist you with all your immigration needs regardless of where you are currently located or where you plan to go in the United States. But before we get started, please subscribe to our channel by clicking the bell button or the subscribe button. Today we are going to speak about a recent success story, an E-2 visa approved for a travel agency. The E-2 visa for the travel agency was approved at the US Consulate in Bucharest, Romania. The Romanian investor obtained a 5-year E-2 visa, which is the maximum allowed under the treaty between the United States and Romania. So their E-2 visa was issued for 5 years. Now the processing time at the US Consulate in Bucharest, Romania was 2 months. That is from the moment we submitted the application and until the investor received their E-2 visa in their passport. The US Consulate did not issue a request for further evidence, despite the fact that there were some complexities in this case, including the line of business as a travel agency working in the travel sector, especially as an outbound travel agency, but also the fact that the Romanian investor had multiple C1D visas that were valid. Let's discuss the particularities of this case. So in this case, the Romanian citizen invested $80,000 in a travel agency for the E-2 visa. Now, this is an outbound travel agency, so as an outbound travel operator, the E-2 business will provide tailored packages for US customers who are traveling abroad. So the E-2 business will take US travelers to specific destinations, primarily in Europe and Asia, and provide travel packages that are adapted to the specific needs and preferences of the US travelers in order to make it easier for the US consumers to actually travel abroad to various destinations in Asia and Europe. Before applying for the E-2 visa, the investor also obtained the Florida Seller of Travel license from the Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services and also the required surety bond. Now, the investor also had valid C1D visas, and the US Consulate inquired into the specific use of these visas, whether the investor plans to continue using the C1D visa or plans to actually use the E-2 visa to conduct business. Of course, the investor has invested in this travel agency in order to run and manage the travel agency, so they will be using the E-2 visa to run and develop the travel agency. But it is important to understand that when you have multiple C1D visas and you are working in the travel sector, these questions can come up at the US consulates. And now a short overview of the E-2 visas for those of you who don't know much about this visa. The E-2 visa is a non-immigrant visa, so a temporary visa for the United States that allows you to live and work in the United States by making an investment in a US business. You can start your own business for the E-2 visa. You can also purchase a US business or invest in a franchise. There's no minimum investment required, but you will need to make a substantial investment in the US business, which depends on the line of business and the location of the business. You can bring your spouse and unmarried children under the age of 21 on an E-2 visa. You can also bring employees from the same treaty country as the principal investor to work in executive, managerial, or specialized roles that are essential to the US business. Now, over the years, we have worked with many E-2 visas across various industries and in various US states. And we also specialize in complex E-2 visas, including holding company structures, purchasing shares of existing businesses, and so on and so forth. This is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to our channel, and if you need to get in touch with us, you have our contact information in this video and below this video. We will see you soon. Bye.